Okay, we are going live. I'm just waiting for confirmation. Let's see. Okay, I think we got it. All right, yay. Okay, hey, happy Thursday or happy Tuesday, sorry. So welcome. So today I want to talk to you about something I get a lot of questions about. What if I mess up a client? Like, what happens? What do I do? Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit today. I'm gonna put my desk down a little bit. I love this desk. It's so cool that I can do this. Okay, that's way better. It's so easy. It's so much easier for me to look at you guys. So for those of you that ask, I have an IKEA standing desk and I can just hit a button and it goes up and down. But that's really cool too, because like if I want to kind of change the camera or if I want to type a little bit higher, like if I want my arms a little bit higher, I can kind of adjust as I go. So it is pretty cool. Okay, so what do you do when you mess up a client? Okay, so first of all, my name is Kristen Ingram. I am the CEO of Ingram Digital Media. I am the creator of Bookkeeper Training School, where we teach moms and other women how to replace their full-time income as virtual bookkeepers. Okay, so, and this is one thing that kind of stops a lot of people. So 90% of our students have no business experience, no accounting experience. They've never taken an accounting class. And so they're really worried, like, what happens if I mess something up? So first of all, one of the great things about QuickBooks is that everything is fixable in QuickBooks. We were just talking about this on our new member call last night, that anything that you do is completely 100% fixable in QuickBooks. Now, sometimes it might take some time, but you can delete things, you can change things, like everything is editable. And I know sometimes people get worried because, you know, they're used to using older systems where once you put something in the system, like it's in and it's locked and you can't change it. And that's not how QuickBooks works. So anything is fixable, anything is changeable. And so that really helps, okay? So, and QuickBooks is the primary software that we teach you guys how to use. We also have relationships with FreshBooks, and I show you guys how to use Wave. There's also other accounting software out there as well that you can use. But the reason that we start with QuickBooks is because QuickBooks has 94% name recognition. Nobody else has that kind of name recognition in the industry. And so to put your foot out there and say, yes, I'm QuickBooks certified, people go, oh, QuickBooks, I know QuickBooks, I've heard of QuickBooks, the big player in the industry. It's kind of like a computer person saying they're Microsoft certified, right? Or they're Apple certified. That means something, right? So everything's fixable. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is just look at, if you find an error, and you know, typically in our field, you want to minimize errors. You don't want to make them, but they can be fixed at any time during the year. The big like time of the, the big important one is tax time, right? Because if the tax return's already done, then we can't go back and make changes, okay? And so if that's the case, then you have to look and say, okay, so is this a major error or a minor error? And how does that impact my client? And so like what I always do, and I know that this is really hard for a lot of people because they don't want to, they don't want to look bad to a client. But I think it's really important, and your clients will respect you. Say, hey, listen, I was just going through the books and I realized that whatever the error was, I misclassified something, or something was in there twice. I caught it when I was going through reviewing your books, and I fixed it. Okay. Now, the thing that's really cool with that is you're taking responsibility, right? So you're showing like, hey, I took responsibility for this thing that I did. You're being honest with your client, right? So it shows that you're trustworthy and you have integrity, and that you're not afraid to come to the client if there's an issue. And that is really going to help the client feel more confident with you, because you weren't just trying to like sweep it under the rug. You actually told them. If something like that happens, I typically give them new statements for that period of time. So I'll reprint out their statements that I gave them. And then if it's after their tax return was done and I found the error in the previous year, then what I've probably done is say, listen, you know, I need to talk to your tax accountant to see how we want to fix this. And so you can work with the tax accountant to figure out, you know, going forward, is this something that we want to amend for or fix it going forward? So that's it. Like, and I understand, like, for some people, like, oh my God, it's so scary because the client is never going to want to work with me again. You have to remember that everybody makes mistakes. And I bet you all your clients have made mistakes and they've had to go back to their customers and say, you know, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And so I think that being upfront, being honest, and just, you know, it just shows so much integrity when you're willing to do that. And so it also gives you an opportunity to give them updated numbers. You can kind of explain, you know, so this is the change I had to make, or this is the thing I had to fix. And they will, you know, I will say that 95% of the time the client will be, you know, will be really excited that you were so honest with them. You know, that 5% of the time, if the client does get upset, you know, that's one of those moments that you kind of do a gut check and you say, okay, I understand that, you know, I understand that you're upset, but you don't have the right to treat me this way. And it may end up being that you decide that you don't want to work with the client anymore, depending on how they react. Okay. And so I just think it's really, really important to make sure that you are honest with your clients, that you're upfront with your clients. Because the other thing too is that that can actually lead to a lot of referrals when you are a person of integrity, a person that stands behind their work. And it also shows the client too, like, hey, I went back after the fact and I was going through and reviewing everything and I caught this error. And so I hope that that is super, super helpful for you. You know, but like I said, you know, the vast majority of the errors, you know, anything can be fixed in QuickBooks. You know, and as long as you're upfront with your clients and you tell them, you know, what's going on, they are going to respect you for it. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, let me know if you have any questions at all. Happy to help you with that. I hope you're having a great week. Mamas, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.